Steve and I had our first kid. It was done without either of our consent, but we were both free people. So the kid is not the first of his kind that Dad's ever seen, and is meant to be a free person, but it isn't possible to get him into any of the non-free structures. So Dad maintains him as a fancy, as a fancy project. But subsequent to Steve's going into Dad's service, we've had at least one other. And that kid is structured within a project. So, anyway, so people are, and part of the thing with the people talking about, there's no, I can't imagine anybody in the modern world being a hunter-gatherer. I can't imagine in this sea of humanity there's not anybody but niggers in it, Because we are all just a bunch of butt lickers, and that's if you're not good at licking butts, and if you don't pick the right butt to lick, and how do you pick the right butt to lick? So do you just lick every butt that's in front of you? But then, like I said, so it's like there is an act of breeding slaves, but a slave population cannot be maintained entirely through slave genetics, because genes change based on the experiences of the parents. There's mutation, there is, there's a lot that goes into the selection of the gametes that goes on with the thinking and behavior and the hormones of the men and the women and their experience and the hormonal reaction to other people, the habitual thoughts. It depends on which eggs develop, it depends on what sperms get tails, which ones get the faster tails, which ones don't get tails at all. And it just goes on and on like that. So with that variation accumulating within 7 generations of pure slave-to-slave breeding, you have an infertile population. So somewhere on this planet, free people have to live. There don't have to be very many, because one woman makes 1 million eggs and a man has 1 million sperm every time he has a wet dream. So it doesn't take very many free people, but you have to maintain a few, and you have to maintain enough for breeding diversity. Because when we breed half and half with slaves, it's not it's like you're trying to make yogurt with the 7th generation from a can of Dannon. It's not going to be yogurt anymore.